Taurians, and welcome to your forecast for June 2022. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Justina and I use Western Astrology, Tropical, Zodiac and the whole sign system for all the forecasts on this channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So here in today's video, I'm going to discuss the main astrological events happening in June 2022, and I will tell you how they will influence your life on a more personal level. So here we start with Mercury stationing direct on June the 2nd, the 3rd at 26 degrees of Taurus. This is happening in your first house, in your sign. So here Mercury will be in the post-shadow period until June the 18th, 17th, depending on where in the world you live. However, from the 2nd to the 3rd of June, we can say that the worst is behind us, the worst concerning Mercury retrograde. So here this retrograde was since May the 10th, and it triggered your financial sphere as well as your personal life, your identity. And you may have been reviewing, reassessing your personal appearance, how you present yourself to the outer world, your skills, your talents, and your stability and security in your life. Now, with Mercury stationing direct, your straightforward thinking won't be affected no more, but also this will be a great time for slowly implementing any changes, any ideas that you may have had for yourself throughout this retrograde. And perhaps this could be a time of self-improvement, self-empowerment moving forward now that Mercury is in a direct motion. On June the 4th until October the 23rd, we've got Saturn stationing retrograde in your 10th house in the sign of Aquarius. And this retrograde will begin at 25 degrees of Aquarius. So here, the strongest energies happen usually when the planet stations retrograde and when it stations direct. So here, around June the 4th, you might experience a shift of energy happening in your career sphere, professional life direction as well. And during this retrograde, you might become more status conscious. You might also experience a greater sense of responsibility when it comes to your public image, when it comes to your career life. Now, this retrograde might also bring a need or create a need to establish a sense of principle in your career sphere, in your public life. Now, anything that was delayed in the past or recently or put on hold now may come back during this retrograde time, and you'll be able to deal with this project, issue, or a situation. And on the 11th of the month, we've got Venus and Uranus conjunction at 16 degrees of Taurus. This is happening in your sign. So here, dear Taurians, you had a lot of Uranus stimulation here in May and then in June again. Uranus brings surprises. With Uranus, things happen quickly, suddenly and unexpectedly. Venus is your ruler of your first house, so there could be some unexpected surprises, opportunities that come your way, or gifts, or you might unexpectedly meet someone. So whatever it is, this is connected to you, to your persona, to your life. You might suddenly decide you want to change your appearance or change your style or buy a different type of clothes, because Uranus is connected to whatever is different and original, unique and unconventional as well. So here you might be redefining yourself during this time, redefining your look, your style as well. So very interesting time indeed. Right, so moving forward, we've got a full moon coming up on June the 14th at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius rules your 8th house. So whatever happens in the 8th house is deep, profound, and intense. So this will be a very intense full moon for you, and you might even experience a temporary insomnia throughout this time. Generally with Mars also in your 12th house throughout the June, you might experience difficulties with sleeping. There's a strong focus here this month on your mental health as well. Now with this full moon in your 8th house, this full moon will illuminate or fully illuminate anything connected to shared and joint resources, your intimate life, any investments, any mortgage that you may have. So here with the full moon, there's a full illumination. Things become very clear. And during this full moon, you might be able to repay an important debt. This could be related to an important investment as well. Generally, with this full moon sextile Saturn in your 10th house, this very much highlights your career life as well, especially since Saturn is already retrograde in Aquarius, stimulating any thoughts, any ideas concerning your professional life path. Now an opportunity may emerge, because that's a sextile, through career that could benefit you financially. Here, your 8th house, money that comes through other sources than income, so perhaps a bonus. Now this could be one way to interpret that. Another way, you might be appreciated by someone, an authority figure as well. That could also, well, positively influence your self-worth and self-esteem. So here, self-empowerment, that's also 8th house. Or perhaps this could be connected to your parents, who might appreciate your help, might appreciate your efforts or your contribution to their life in the last weeks or months. So whatever the scenario, there is an opportunity that comes here during this time from an authority figure, from a boss, from a manager, from your career, that will empower you, self-empower you. There could be some delays as well, or things taking longer than expected since Saturn is retrograde. So here we've got Venus moving into Gemini on June the 23rd. Gemini rules your 2nd house, so here this will definitely positively influence your financial sphere moving forward. And that's happening from the 23rd. Now Venus, while it stays in Gemini, it will sextile Jupiter. So this will bring some positive energies into your financial sphere. So throughout this time here with Venus in your 2nd house, sextile and Jupiter throughout its stay, you might receive money deposited into your bank account. So this will positively influence your financial sphere. But also, if you sell something, if you sell items of some sort, if you have your own business, then here Venus will also attract the right people, the right clients, or more sales here into your business, into your life as well, since Jupiter rules your 11th house, and 11th house is connected to any long-term goals, long-term plans. And if these are connected to your some financial goals, then these opportunities will come your way throughout this transit as well. Right, so here on the 25th, we've got Neptune stationing retrograde in Pisces in your 11th house. Now, this retrograde will start at 25 degrees of Pisces on June the 25th and will end on December the 1st. So, with the retrograde of Neptune in your 11th house, this is about your friendships, this is about any group activities, social events, long-term goals and plans. This retrograde is about shattering or moving away from any illusions concerning your friendships. And it helps you to become more realistic about your long-term goals, about any people in your life, any associates, any organizations that you belong to. So here with this retrograde, you'll be reviewing these aspects of your life, but at the same time, Neptune will help you to become more realistic. And as a result of that, you might make some important life decisions towards the end of this retrograde, allowing you to grow as an individual, as a spiritual being. So you might move away from some groups, from some people. You might redefine your goals. At the end of this retrograde, you might also realize that you've got some talents or gifts that perhaps you didn't realize that you had. And the month ends with a new moon in Cancer happening at 7 degrees of Cancer on June the 29th. And this is activating your 3rd house of communication. Now with a new moon, it's a time of new beginnings, an opportunity for starting something new, for a fresh start. And this new moon is about a new start connected to your siblings, connected to your neighbors, to your neighborhood. There could be some new beginnings, some new events or some social events happening in your neighborhood. Now, this could be connected to new neighbors in your neighborhood as well. And you might decide you want to learn some new skills, refresh old skills. So learning is very much emphasized here. Learning, writing, reading some new books. You might decide you want to set up a new blog. You might decide you want to travel. Now, being independent is very much emphasized here. This new moon will square Jupiter in your 12th house in Aries. So if you seek too much support from others, you might be slightly disappointed. So rely on yourself and work independently when possible, because you are likely to achieve best results when working independently throughout this new moon, at least with some projects. All right, so on this note, I wish you a pleasant month, and until the next time, thank you very much.